We have broken every single record there is to break with this tour. All that's left is to close the book. That's what Taylor Swift said about her brand new docuseries and concert film that releases this week. Welcome to Hits Differently. I'm Molly, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the end of an era and the Eras Tour, the final show. If you've been wondering things like, where can I watch this? When will the episodes be available? What kind of information is Taylor going to share with us? Is Travis Kelce in the documentary? Didn't we already get a concert film for the Eras Tour? What were the surprise songs on that final night again? How can I get myself ready for this release? I've got you covered. I'm going to answer all these questions and more. I am so freaking excited. I feel like we've been looking forward to this for a year because the day that I'm recording this is exactly a year from the final show of the Eras Tour. And on that night, we saw cameras on the stage recording Taylor, and we knew we were going to get something with that footage, and now it's almost here. I want to know what you are looking forward to the most, whether it's the docuseries, whether it's the concert film, if it's a specific thing that you're hoping that we find out. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First question, what is Taylor releasing? So Taylor's releasing 2 brand new projects. The first one is a 6-part docuseries called The End of an Era. This docuseries is going to take fans behind the scenes of the biggest tour in history to date. The second is the Eras Tour, the final show, which is the full concert film from that final night I was just talking about of the Eras Tour in Vancouver, Canada. When can you watch this and where can you watch this? Well, the docuseries is going to be released over a period of 3 weeks, okay? So there's going to be 2 episodes dropping every single week for the next 3 weeks. How freaking lucky are we? The first 2 episodes are dropping this Friday, December 12th. Episodes 3 and 4 drop the following Friday, December 19th. Then the final set of episodes, 5 and 6, will drop Friday, December 26th. The concert film is going to also be available this Friday, December 12th. So we're getting the first 2 episodes and the full concert film all this week. In case you didn't know, Saturday, December 13th is Taylor Swift's birthday, and she always makes sure to give the fans some sort of present on her birthday, which I greatly appreciate because my birthday is December 11th. So I always reap these rewards extra. And the fact that I'm going to get to watch 2 episodes of a docuseries and see the entire full final show of the Eras Tour on my birthday weekend, stay blessed, okay? Now, if you're wondering where you can watch all of this, it's going to be available on Disney Plus, which is a streaming platform. You do need a subscription to be able to watch this on Disney Plus. And as far as I know, there's no free trials or anything like that available. But if you have Hulu or maybe an ESPN subscription, you might be able to bundle it if you don't already have the bundle so that you can watch. And sometimes there are deals that you can get through like your cell phone provider. If you're in the US, for example, I think Verizon might have a deal. So check out that stuff. And if you maybe have cable in the US or some other streaming provider where you get your TV type of content from, so like YouTube TV, for example, then you could catch at least some of this on ABC. So ABC is going to be airing a preview on Friday, December 12th. That's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to show the entire first episode of the docuseries and then a 1-hour presentation of the final show concert film. I'm going to be very interested to see what pieces of the Eras Tour they decided to pick out of the 3.5 hours to make this into a 1-hour presentation of the final show. If you have cable or some sort of streaming service that gives you those cable channels, then you could tune into ABC on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to watch some of this content. What can you do if you don't have any of those streaming platforms? Honestly, my best recommendation is to click that subscribe button right now or follow us wherever you're watching or listening to this because we are going to have you covered, okay? Ryan is coming into town this weekend. We're going to be watching this content together. We're going to have live streams. We will be reacting to whatever it is that we're about to find out in these first 2 episodes, whatever it is that we're about to see in the concert film. So if you want to live vicariously through us, come join us that way. Click the subscribe button so you do not miss any of our content that's coming up about this. If you're wondering what time all this is going to be available, like I said, the ABC special is at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Friday night, December 12th. But when the episodes are actually going to drop on Disney Plus, the streaming platform, December 11th into December 12th at 3 a.m. Eastern time, which is midnight Pacific times. If you followed us during the Summer I Turned Pretty this summer, then you'll remember that that's what they did. All right, so now that all of those logistics are out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. Like, what are we going to see in the End of an Era docuseries? I'm so excited. We're going to see everything from rehearsal footage to backstage, behind the scenes type access. Disney Plus says that cameras were, quote, trailing Taylor as the Eras Tour evolved from a concept to a worldwide phenomenon. It's an intimate look at Taylor's life as the tour grows, makes headlines, thrilling fans, and breaking records across the globe. So the way that they phrased that, saying going from a concept to a worldwide phenomenon, makes me think that maybe the series is going to be in more of a chronological order. In the trailer, Taylor says that she started planning the Eras Tour 2 years before it started. So if the tour started in March of 2023, then that means that we might go as far back as 2021. Maybe we'll get some personal footage from Taylor when she was creating the concept of the tour. And then it's going to go all the way through December 8th, 2024, that final night in Vancouver. So just take a second to think about everything that happened in those 4 years, okay? So much happened in the Taylor Swift universe that I think is going to be covered in the docuseries. I think all of this is going to be covered, okay? 2021, she released her first Taylor's versions. Fearless Taylor's version, Red Taylor's version. I think we're about to have confirmed in the docuseries what we thought all along, which is that Taylor doing the Taylor's version projects inspired the Eras Tour. Then in 2022 is when she announced Midnights and released Midnights. She announced it in August, released it in October. Beginning of November, she announced the Eras Tour. Then a couple weeks after that was the Ticketmaster debacle when Swifties broke the entire platform trying to get their tickets for the Eras Tour. I wonder if that's going to be covered. Fast forward to March 2023, like I said, that is when the tour actually started. So think about everything that happened just in the 2 years that she was on tour. She surprise announced and released 2 more Taylor's versions, Speak Now and 1989. She surprise announced the Tortured Poets Department, released that, added it to the set list, changed the whole set list halfway through the freaking tour. She released 3 brand new music videos, Karma featuring Ice Spice, I Can See You featuring Taylor Lautner and Joey King, and then Fortnite featuring Post Malone. And of course, she had many special guests on the tour. She went through a lot of changes in her personal life too, including 2 different breakups and beginning to date her now fiance, Travis Kelce. The trailer made it pretty clear that we are going to get to see Taylor and Travis and some of the personal side of their relationship. We even got Mama Swift talking about Travis Kelce and how much happiness that he brings to Taylor's life. More on this in just a second. Before I tell you about my favorite Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce moments on the Eras Tour that I hope we get to learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes of in this docuseries, I want to tell you about our very first podcast sponsor, and it just so happens to be the easiest gift that you could possibly give this holiday season. The Aura frame is the perfect gift to give this holiday season. If you're someone who wants to put a personal touch on your presents, but you want it to be a little bit on the easier side to figure out, then this frame is perfect for you. If you're watching us on YouTube or on Patreon right now, then you've been seeing my Aura frame behind me this whole episode. code. If you're listening, just know that there's a photo of Ryan and I behind me in the Aura frame. It's from the Eras tour. It makes me so happy to look at, and it was so easy to put into the frame because the frame has unlimited free photos and it just connects to your Wi-Fi. So I literally downloaded the app, went to our shared folder with all of our Eras tour photos in it, and went click, 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 and uploaded a bunch of them to the frame. And it's made me so happy to look at ever since, especially this week as we're getting so excited about all this Eras tour content. It's been really fun to relive all of our favorite moments. For those who are watching, I grabbed the frame behind me and brought it a little bit closer so that you can see I can literally just swipe with my hand and go through all these photos that I love so much. Like Alex and I had dressed up as Taylor and Travis in Edinburgh. And then Ryan and I at the show where Taylor announced 1989 Taylor's version on the Eras tour. This is a moment that I cannot wait to see in the docuseries. When you hear the screams piercing the stadium when Taylor made the announcement, just know that Ryan and I were up there in the nosebleeds, like crying our eyes out. The frame is safely back behind me now. So if you want to get your own for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code HD at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code HD. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. This is our first sponsor. We're so excited about it, and it would mean so much to us if you would consider giving this gift to someone and using our promo code. All right, back to Taylor and Travis like I promised. So here are some of the highlights of Taylor and Travis throughout the Eras tour that I'm hoping we get to see more of in the docuseries. Travis went to his very first Eras tour show back before he and Taylor ever met in Kansas City in July of 2023. That is the weekend that Taylor dropped Speak Now, Taylor's version. That's when it released. Then she went to her first Chiefs game that fall. He had his bye week and flew to Argentina, and that is where Taylor sang her first ever mashup of Is It Over Now and Out of the Woods on guitar. Then she changed the lyrics to Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, which, by the way, she did that in the last show as well. So if you're wondering, which I'm going to answer later, what's different about the original concert film and the new concert film, I'm going to explain more in a second, but that's a big one. Okay, the lyrics to Karma are going to be different in the new one. And then, of course, she ran to kiss him after the show. The kiss heard around the world. You know what I'm talking about, okay? Then Taylor goes on to win the Grammy for Album of the Year for Midnights, and Travis is in the Super Bowl. Taylor has to fly from Tokyo to Vegas to go to the Super Bowl. All this happening because she's on the Eras tour. That summer, when Travis is on his off season, he goes to the Eras tour so many times, and he ends up joining Taylor on stage in London. I can't wait to see how all of this unfolded. I'm assuming that they captured that behind the scenes of the rehearsal. I mean, we saw a snippet of it in the trailer. I'm hoping we get even more than that. How did Travis even get behind the stage in order to be able to surprise us all? I can't wait to figure it out. Okay. Then that whole summer, think about it. Travis is jumping on stage and we're all distracted by that and we're freaking out over it. Meanwhile, Taylor is writing The Life of a Showgirl and flying to Sweden to go and record it. So I think we're going to see all of this in the docuseries, and I can't freaking wait. But Travis was not the only special guest, okay? There are many other special guests that we're going to see and hear from. There were the openers who became surprise guests, like Gracie Abrams or Sabrina Carpenter. There are Taylor's other musical friends like Ed Sheeran, who joined her for the acoustic set. Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine. She came on stage to sing Florida at 4 different shows as a surprise addition to the Tortured Poets set. And I hope that we get to see more than just those who were featured in the trailer. So, for example, Hayley Williams from Paramore or Phoebe Bridgers, the Haim sisters. None of them were in the trailer, but I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit from them. And of course, my favorite Tay collaborators, Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner. I really hope that they're in the docuseries. I know we're going to hear from her fellow Eras Tour cast members, like the dancers, her backing vocalists, her band. I love her band. There's a really cool clip of Amos, the bassist, playing in like a shower in the stadium bathroom or something. It seems like he's practicing. I can't wait to see all of that behind the scenes content. And maybe even people that we don't even know yet. You know, people who are more involved in the technical parts of the show or the setup of the stage and things like that. Set design, costume design. There are so many people that made up this tour. And of course, her family. We know her mom was in the trailer. I wonder if we'll hear from her dad or her brother Austin. Tree Payne. She's basically family, right? All right, so here's a quick run through of other questions that I think we are going to get answered. I hope that we are going to get answered in the docuseries. How Taylor prepared, not just on show days. How did she prepare? Like, when did she wake up? When did she go to hair and makeup? What does she eat on a show day? But her training before the tour even began. We've learned a little bit about it, but I'm hoping we get to actually see it. How she picked the songs for the set list and the overall order of the set list. Why did she leave Debut off the set list? The outfits, the costume design, how she picked which outfit she was going to wear on which days. Did she know she left certain combinations of the 1989 outfits on the table? Why didn't she wear them? The surprise songs. How did she pick those? What made her decide to start doing mashups? Why didn't she sing certain songs ever? Girl at Home, looking at you. How did she write 2 freaking albums while she was on tour? How did she write The Tortured Poets Department and The Life of a Showgirl while she was on tour? So many questions. All of them I hope will be answered. I can't wait to find out what the answers are. The final question that I'm going to answer for you is, if you're wondering, what is the Eras Tour, the final show, and how is it different from the first concert film? So the first concert film was recorded in LA. She performed 6 different shows in LA. The night that I was talking about with Ryan and I seeing the 1989 announcement, that was the 6th and final night in LA. But the first 3 nights are what she recorded and then ended up putting together as this concert film. And it featured the original Eras Tour set list. Okay, so for example, Folklore and Evermore were 2 totally different eras in that version. There are songs that were on the set list then, like The Archer or Tolerate It or Long Live, that ended up getting cut in 2024 when Taylor added the Tortured Poets Department to the set list. Folklore and Evermore will be combined eras in this new film. We get the full Tortured Poets Department set for the first time ever. I am so excited for this because even though I got to see it live, and trust me, I am not complaining when I say this, I know how lucky I am to have seen it live. However, in Edinburgh, it was still daylight when the Tortured Poets set was being performed because the sun stays up so long there. So we didn't get to see some of the really cool lighting and stuff that's in the Tortured Poets set, like the Down Bad spaceship, like the light beam, or Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. There's lots of really cool lighting. I can't wait to see the production of that. That is all going to be brand new and not in the original film. The surprise songs are obviously different. On Disney Plus, actually, if you go watch the original concert film, you'll get to see all the surprise songs that she played all 3 nights in LA, even though in the movie theater release of it, only 2 songs made the cut. So the final night in Vancouver, the surprise songs that she sang were A Place in This World and New Romantics on guitar, and then Long Live New Year's Day and the Manuscript as a mashup on piano, which wrecked so many of us. And you see Taylor planning it out and telling her mom about it in the trailer. Again, I just can't wait to hear in the docuseries how she planned all of those things and practiced all of those things. But back to the concert film, it's just going to be amazing. You have to tune in and watch the Eras Tour all over again. Another 3.5-hour movie of a Taylor Swift live concert. I can't wait. And it's all from the final night. So in LA, where it was recorded over 3 nights and pieced together, they're saying this is all from that final night, which is so hard to capture. I also think a lot of the production and the way it was shot, the way it was edited, is going to feel different than the first concert film. And I'm a bit of a media nerd in that way, so I really can't wait to see like the different kinds of angles and stuff that they made sure to get this time around compared to the first one. All right, I think that's everything I could possibly tell you. Oh, how to get ready. What else do you need to know? Like I was just saying, you could go back and watch the original concert film on Disney Plus. You could also watch Miss Americana on Netflix. That's the most recent documentary that is out featuring Taylor, although at this point it came out like 5 years ago. So there is just so much new stuff that's happened in her life since then. We have our own Eras Tour content that you can relive on Patreon between now and the release of all of this on Disney Plus. If you want to relive the final night in Vancouver, we have a recap for that. If you want to relive any of those Taylor Travis moments I was talking about, we have recaps for all of those shows. If you want to see a little bit from our Edinburgh show, we have a vlog from the whole night that we were on the floor. We will link to all this stuff in the description of this episode. And then also announced the day that I'm recording this is that Taylor is going to be on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Wednesday night, December 10th at 11:35 p.m. He did use Opalite in the promo clip that he posted on social media for this. So of course, Swifties are now clowning that we're getting an Opalite music video. We're already getting so much other content though, I can't even let myself think about that. But if Taylor did want to give us an Opalite music video for her birthday, in addition to all the other birthday presents that she's already giving us, I'm not going to complain, okay? Number one Opalite stan over here. It was my top song on my Apple Replay, and the song has barely been out for like just over 2 months at this point, and it already beat out all the other songs I listened to all year. All right, if you can't tell, I'm really excited. I can't wait. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and buckle up for whatever ride we're about to go on through the end of an era.